Sens Talk is proud to be powered by Ottawa Interlock Repair for the 2025-26 Sens season. For all your interlock needs, visit interlockrepair.com. Sens win! Sens win! The Sens win, baby! 5-4 over the Tampa Bay Lightning. Your Ottawa Senators are back and are undefeated to start the 2025-2026 regular season. Let's go! Ladies and gentlemen, your Senators are back. What a win! What a comeback victory! And Ottawa goes into Tampa and leaves with a major 2 points. Yeah, it's game 1 on the year, but guess what? Tampa Bay's a team we're going to be competing with all year for potentially a divisional spot. I know it's October, I know it's game 1, but this game especially matters when you're playing against a divisional opponent. You want to make a statement to start the year, and my goodness, did the Ottawa Senators ever make a statement today with a massive victory 5-4 over the Tampa Bay Lightning. Shane Pinto, Winto, baby, my goodness. This guy is going to get paid. This guy is going to be on the Olympic team. And this guy is going to be the future second-line center for the Ottawa Senators. We're just going to at least battle it out with Dylan Cousins for that role. Because my goodness, him and Cousins today, let's just say, did what they had to do. But my goodness, the Sens as a whole today got the job done. They had all the reason in the world early on to be rattled and to let this one go. The old Sens of the past would have crumbled and folded. No, no, no. These are not the same Ottawa Senators. These are the new Ottawa Senators, and they do not go down without a fight as your Sens win 5-4 over the Tampa Bay Lightning. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Da-da-da. Let's get into the game recap and talk about what went down tonight and how your Ottawa Senators took down the Tampa Bay Lightning. So with that, let's jump right into it. So the Ottawa Senators last year, they made the playoffs for the first time in nearly 9 years. The Sens have not made the playoffs back-to-back years in over a decade. They want to change that this year. So far, so good. Some lineup notes before we jump into the actual game. Jordan Spence shockingly did not play in this one. Oli Leixell, who originally was thought to be playing on the fourth line, would not play. Curtis McDermott took his spot. Now, McDermott only played 2 minutes. I wouldn't expect him to be in the lineup more often than not. I think he played in the lineup today purely because Gabriel, the rookie for the Tampa Bay Lightning, who he fought today, was in the lineup, so they want to have some grittiness there. Leixell probably will be in the next game. Maybe not, actually, because we won, so maybe they want to keep the same lineup, but you get what I mean. Jordan Spence, it's a bit shocking that he's not starting game number 1 of the year for the Ottawa Senators. I think many, including myself, penciled him in for sure as a starting defenseman for Ottawa. I do think the reason they didn't do that, for this game anyways, is purely because he's a little undersized, around 5'10". Tampa Bay and Florida on Saturday, I expect him to set out for that game as well. Are big, heavy-hitting teams. Without Tyler Kleven on that pairing, they probably wanted to go with Sabrango and Manapolo. Brings a bit more physicality to the game. And also, Sabrango has played some time with Nicholas Manapolo in Belleville, so there's some familiarity there. Probably makes a bit more sense when you have a rookie defenseman, there on that third pairing, to have him pair with somebody he's a little more familiar with. So that also could be a reason. I don't think this is going to be a long-term thing for Jordan Spence. I think more often than not he's going to be in the lineup, especially when Tyler Kleven is back. But it's certainly something to monitor as this year continues, because I think myself, like many of you, were shocked that he did not play today. Now, Ottawa last year against Tampa Bay was 2-2-0, and in season openers all time is 15-9, 5-3, that 5 being ties. So, we can count it if you'd like. Last thing before we jump into the game recap portion of the video. Many of you have requested that these videos are episodes of Sens Talk to be put on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and whatnot. Well, I have some good news. It is officially now going to be on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Wherever you want your Sens Talk, you can get it. Here on YouTube, where I encourage you to watch the videos. But if you're in a rush, go to Spotify, go to Apple. We'll have the episodes there for you as well. So go to the link in the description below for the links to that. I encourage you all to subscribe. I would really appreciate that. Now let's get to the first bit of play. And early on, Lena Zalmark, Oli, baby, is on it with a 2-pad stack. My goodness, looking like NHL 94 early on for the Ottawa Senators. And then a couple minutes later, as I already mentioned, McDermott and Douglas fight. Technically, not really a fight. McDermott really got shoved. I can't lie with you. Douglas is an absolute animal. This guy is huge, and he threw 10 straight punches. McDermott couldn't even get a punch in as he threw him down. And again, look, I'm not going to be too hard on McDermott. Douglas was like a rabid raccoon, you know what I mean? He was going crazy. There was no one going to stop him. I saw a lot of people criticizing McDermott out there. I get it. That is his one job. He couldn't even land a punch. But also, I mean, did you see that guy he was fighting? Let's cut him some slack and see how he does in the next one. Moving forward now, a couple minutes later, the Sens score a goal! No, they don't. Shane Pinto, we think scores a goal, but he put the puck in the net just above the crossbar. Very close, though, but it does not count, so no goal. And then, of course, a minute later, on the power play as well, of course, Tampa Bay opens the scoring. They make it 1-0 Bolts. A nice feed by Gensel finds Bjorkstrand all alone out front on a pretty passing play. They give the Lightning the 1-0 lead. The Diamond gets picked apart again. We'll talk about it in the game notes, but, you know, the Diamond could work, but maybe you shouldn't just stand around and watch. You know what I mean? They are not aggressive, especially on that one, on that diamond formation. And the Lightning take advantage. Not even 2 minutes later, the Lightning take advantage again. They make it 2-0 as Braden Point with a one-time shot off of the post and in, past the blocker side of Linus Ullmark to make it a 2-0 game suddenly for the Tampa Bay Lightning, as they have 2 goals on the first 4 shots. Sabrango and Manapalo get crossed up on this one, and the Bolts were all over it to capitalize on that one. Ullmark probably wants that goal back as well. And we'll talk about this in the game notes. He was a little off early on, especially in this first period. But as the game went on, he really settled down and frankly made some big stops to keep Ottawa in it and allow them to even attempt and, or I should say, make that comeback. A couple minutes after that, Ottawa does get on the board officially for the first time this year. It's Cuzzy, Rich Cuzzy, Dylan Cousins, the workhorse from Whitehorse. One-time bomb, power play goal. Sends down by 1. It's a 2-1 game. The one-timer power play goal was thanks to a pretty play by the captain, Brady Tkachuk, and a great play as well by Shane Pinto, who didn't get an assist on this play, but out front in that slot area, drew a defender towards him, giving Cousins all his space to slam home that one-timer to get Ottawa on the board. A few minutes later, Sabrango and Lilleberg go at it. Sabrango fared a little better than McDermott, but Lilleberg got the takedown on that one as well. I love seeing that, though, from Sabrango, a rookie, really trying to make an impact in his first, you know, potential full year in the National Hockey League, you know what I mean? So that goes down. And by the way, Lilleberg on that goal a few minutes before got spun around like a dreidel by Brady Tkachuk. 2 minutes later, after that fight, the Lightning take advantage again on the power play. We'll talk about it in a few minutes in the game notes, but the Sens are standing around in the diamond formation, and the Lightning just kind of do as they wish, as Kucherov walks in uncontested and rips a glove side past Linus Ullmark. Another power play goal gives the Lightning the 2-goal lead right back. The lead 3-1 after 20 minutes of play. Now, before we get to the fun part of this game and talk about the Sens comeback, I want to give a quick shout out to Dylan Puckniak and Keller Williams Sports and Entertainment for sponsoring Sens Talk, as Sens Talk is proudly presented by Dylan Puckniak, Ottawa's exclusive realtor with Keller Williams Sports and Entertainment. Providing a bilingual real estate service that serves the Ottawa-Gatineau community, Dylan Puckniak is also specialized in supporting professional athletes that come and go in our city, providing a service that takes care of the people at the highest level. For a realtor experience that puts you and your needs first, visit dylanpuckniak.kw.com. That is dylanpuckniak.kw.com to find out more today. Again, thank you to Dylan Puckniak and Keller Williams Sports and Entertainment for sponsoring Sens Talk. So let's get to the second period of play. And less than a minute in, Zoob makes it a 1-goal game again. A shot goes in. A harmless looking shot from near the point. And Ottawa, less than a minute into period number 2, is right back in it. It's a 3-2 game. Artem Zub has his first goal in 36 games as well. And Tkachuk has his second assist of the night as well. Ottawa down by a goal. They continue the push. My goodness, they dominated that second period, and for a good portion of the second and portions of the third period, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, the third period, Tampa Bay had 0 shots. 0. Nada. Nothing. The Ottawa Senators, again, as I said at the beginning of this video, they could have got rattled. They could have folded like the old days. But these are the new Ottawa Senators. They don't fold like the old days. And they stayed composed. They stayed hungry. And thank goodness that was the case. With 5 minutes left in the second period of play, Shane Pinto ties the game at 3. What an unreal pass by Artem Zub to Shane Pinto. And Ottawa ties it at 3 with Shane Pinto's first, maybe second if you count that no goal, to tie it up at 3. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, when Shane Pinto scores, the Sens win. Last year when Shane Pinto got a point, the Sens are 26-1-1. That was last year when he got a goal, 15-0-1. That is absurd. That's genuinely insane. That is the Pinto effect, ladies and gentlemen, as Ottawa and Tampa are tied after 40 minutes of play. My goodness, Ottawa in that period led in shots 13-7 as well. And Allmark, by the way, the Tampa Bay Lightning early on did have a couple of good chances, and he stood tall, giving Ottawa a chance to tie it up. So let's get to the third period of play. And Ottawa, again, much better in this third period. Tampa, shockingly kind of out of it. I really did not expect the Tampa Bay Lightning to be neutralized as much as they were in this one. I mean, Ottawa really played a strong defensive game after a bit of a rough open first period. And again, that really just shows the maturity of this team and how far they've come. But that third period, yeah, it was all Ottawa, but pretty back and forth, not much really going on until the last few minutes where Ottawa really starts to push. They really, really start to push. And when you have a guy like Jake Sanderson, a guy that can turn defensive plays into offense, you know that's a dangerous recipe. And for Tampa Bay, they're just sitting back, trying to hold on and get to overtime. And Jake Sanderson's like, screw that. We want the win in regulation. So he steals the puck, right defensive play. Here's where the defense turns to offense, turns on the Jets, drives to the net, and Pinto puts it home off the Sanderson rebound, and Ottawa leads 4-3. They have their first lead of the night, ladies and gentlemen. Pinto with the second of the night, or third, if you count that no goal, and Ottawa leads 4-3. After being down 3-1, they lead 4-3. Senators are up in the final 2 minutes of play. Holy Machina. That is absurd stuff. With less than a minute to go, G-Money, the Clodfather, Claude Giroux, puts it into the empty net to make it 5-3. And the Sens, oh no. Are the Sens going to win or are they going to lose? With about 12 seconds left, the Lightning cut the lead to one. Kucherov gets one back. But it doesn't matter. The Sens win! Win! 5-4. Over the Tampa Bay Lightning. They score 4 straight goals to win it, to start the year on the right note with a win, and to start 1-0. My goodness, what a win. I'm so fired up. I missed this team so much. I waited so long for the next Sens win, and thank goodness in game number 1, they gave us a Sens win. So some notes. The penalty kill in that first period was egregious. All right? I mean, they were just standing around in that diamond formation getting picked apart. If you're going to do the diamond formation, you know, whatever. I'm not a penalty kill expert, so you do as you wish. But it doesn't take an expert to know that if you're going to do a formation, whether it's the umbrella or the diamond, no matter what you want to do, you need to be aggressive. You can't just let guys walk around and open up the lanes for themselves. You have to force them to the outside and don't give them the space. They gave them the space on those first couple, and then luckily later on, they really just shut the door on the penalty kill, which was a great sign. Hopefully they can build off of that. So again, we can complain all day about the penalty kill, but the last one was very encouraging to me, where they were far more aggressive, and we just have to pray that that continues. Now, Brady Tkachuk, Artem Zub, and Shane Pinto all had 3 points tonight. Unreal season debuts for all three. Zub, Sanderson was flying as well, 2 points. Zub, 3 points. He was all over it tonight. I mean, my goodness. Shabbat as well was dancing. I thought the Manapolo-Sabrango pairing was so-so. Sabrango was a little better than Manapolo. I think Manapolo had a bit of a rough night, a couple turnovers. Overall was fine, but, you know, that second goal, for example, was on both. Jensen, who... it's insane that he's even back from injury this early. Had a bit of a rough game as well, I thought, at points, but overall held his own. So the D-core, again, against a very tough Tampa Bay Lightning team, overall did well. There's always going to be little issues here and there in the first game. So, yeah, maybe I sound a little too negative, but I am very encouraged with what I saw by the Sens D-core tonight, especially considering they were basically missing their third pairing. So that is very, very encouraging, especially, again, with Sanderson's dancing. Zub is doing Zuby things, but on another level. So that was great to see. Now, what was really interesting in terms of the stat sheet tonight, Zetterlund, 8 hits, 0 shots. I thought that first line looked really good between him, Stützle, and Tkachuk tonight. Did generate some looks. Of course, Tkachuk with 3 points. Definitely a successful night for some of the guys on that line. Zetterlund, you know, that's what I like about Zetterlund. Whether he's going to put the puck on net, whether he's going to throw it around the body, he's not going to be an invisible player. He's going to make an impact one way or the other out there on the ice. The shots are going to come. It is a little shocking he didn't put anything on the net, but he had a couple really nice passing plays there with Tim Stützle. So the goals are going to come, basically, is what I'm trying to say. You know, he's involved, he's engaged, and that's all you can ask for, especially in game number 1. Linus Ullmark stopped 21 of 25 tonight. I saw a lot of criticism about the guy. That first period was certainly rough, no doubt about that. I think you can't blame him on 2 out of those 3 goals, though. The defense was just kind of watching and letting the guys do as they wish, that being Tampa Bay. But as the game continued, Ullmark really settled in and gave Ottawa a chance again to come back and win this game with a few key stops. So Ullmark, again, not the greatest stat sheet, no doubt about that. He would, I'm sure, say that first period was not good by any means, but he bounced back, and that's something Linus Ullmark is known to do. After a rough start, he can bounce back, and he definitely did so tonight to help the Sens get a massive victory over the Tampa Bay Lightning. Last thing I want to mention real quick is the Sens were far more noticeable when it came to shooting. Their first option wasn't the pass, it was the shoot. And that's a great sign. We want the Sens to shoot that damn puck. All right, they were 31st last year in 5-on-5 scoring. That has to change. How is that going to change? You shoot the damn puck. So a great sign that the Sens are not scared of shooting the puck. Hopefully that continues as the season progresses. Now with that, thank you all for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. How fired up are you after a Sens win, a Winto baby? And I'll see you all probably on Saturday night after Ottawa takes on the Florida Panthers. I say probably. I got a wedding, so I'm going to try to get a video out. But if not Saturday, you'll see me very, very soon. With that, thank you all for watching. I love you all, and we're so back. Talk soon. Go Sens, go.